I believe that in the Winds of Winter, Jon Snow will eat Ramsay's heart in front of the weirwood tree in Winterfell. And here's why. The first thing I want to go over is how cannibalism has played a major role in the story thus far, specifically for characters related to the North. The easiest example to point you for this is the character of Bran. It is heavily implied that Bran Stark eats human flesh on 2 occasions. The first one being after Cold Hands randomly finds meat in the middle of the woods when there is nothing around but the dead corpses of men of the Night's Watch. And the second time is in his final chapter, where the legendary Jojen paste theory comes from. For those of you who don't know, in Bran 3: A Dance with Dragons, Jojen Reed is acting super depressed and basically seems like he knows he's going to die soon. Halfway through the chapter, he disappears entirely, and then shortly after, Bloodraven gives Bran this paste that has red veins in it, and it tastes horrible. Bran eats this paste, and his magical powers flourish afterwards. So it makes sense that Jojen Reed died as a sacrifice to be eaten by Bran in order for his powers to get stronger. This makes a lot of sense when you consider that throughout Northern history, cannibalism and sacrifices to the old gods have played a major role in everyone's existence. Beyond that, the next thing that I want to call to question is the Dance with Dragons prologue, and that it actually mentions and has a lot to do with Jon Snow. The Dance with Dragons prologue finds Varamyr Sixskins on death's door, doing whatever he can to stay alive. And throughout this chapter, he actually thinks of Jon and Ghost quite often. For example, he had known what Jon Snow was the moment he saw that great white direwolf stalking silent at his side. One skin changer can always sense another. Mance should have let me take the direwolf. That would have been a second life worthy of a king. He could have done it. He did, no doubt. The gift was strong in Snow, but the youth was untaught, still fighting his nature when he should have gloried in it. And another major part of this chapter that occurs right before this part is Varamyr Sixskins committing cannibalism. The chapter actually opens with Varamyr warged into a wolf, and as a wolf, Varamyr kills and eats a small wildling camp because he's starving and wants food. He also notes that after he ate the flesh, his connection and power with the wolf seemed to grow. And this is incredibly important, considering what we find out about Jon Snow later on in A Dance with Dragons. Jon Snow already seems to have a taste for blood, considering the fact that the longer him and Ghost stay together, the closer their souls get to merging. Jon notes, the taste of hot blood filled Jon's mouth, and he knew that Ghost had killed that night. No, he thought, I am a man, not a wolf. And throughout A Dance with Dragons, we get plenty of other mentions of Jon Snow noting that it feels like him and the wolf are closer to one than they ever were before. And this is important for the ending of A Dance with Dragons. Because with Jon dying at the end of the book, and it being all but confirmed that he will come back after living on in Ghost for a while, I think he will come back much darker and hungrier than he did beforehand. I also believe that when Jon gets revived, Ghost may or may not still be alive. I think either could be a possibility, but one thing is for sure. Jon and Ghost's souls will merge, and they will share a body or bodies. So if Jon returns to his body a part of Ghost will come with him. And if Ghost's body stays alive, a part of Jon will stay with Ghost. And this is incredibly important for Jon's eventual clash with Ramsay. The pink letter is a fascinating part of Jon Snow's final chapter. But for the purposes of today's video, I want to just focus on the final part of it. And it goes as follows. Send them to me, bastard, and I will not trouble you or your black crows. Keep them from me, and I will cut out your bastard's heart and eat it. Ramsay Bolton, Trueborn Lord of Winterfell. And I find it incredibly interesting that Ramsay would tell Jon that he would cut out his bastard heart, because Ramsay is invoking cannibalism, continuing the through line that's been relevant for over 2 books. But beyond that, I believe this final line of the pink letter will serve as tragic irony for Ramsay Bolton's eventual death. I believe that when Jon and Ramsay eventually meet, a much darker and hungrier Jon will bring Ramsay to the weirwood tree in Winterfell, cut out his heart in front of it, and eat it. If Ghost is around, I believe Ghost's body will be the one to do it, but Jon's soul will take part in the action, and he will taste the blood and meat in his own mouth. And if Ghost isn't there, I believe Jon will just do it himself, as a way of sacrificing a man to the northern gods in exchange for greater magical power in order to fight the others. This falls in line with what happens with Bran and Jojen Paste. Bran eats Jojen in order to gain more power to fight the others, so it makes sense that other characters, possibly Jon Snow, will do the same in order to continue his own fight. And to make this even crazier, I believe that we could get 2 different perspectives of this moment. One could be Jon's perspective of him doing the action, while the other could be Bran watching the brother he loved eat the heart of a man right in front of him, by watching this all happen through the weirwood tree itself. This would also work as a great parallel to Daenerys in Book 1, when she eats the horse heart in order to gain strength. So yeah, a lot of people always say Jon will become a darker character in the Winds of Winter, but not many people say why. So I am placing my bet down now. I believe that in the Winds of Winter, Jon Snow will become a cannibal by cutting out Ramsay's heart and eating it in exchange for power. I just want to say, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. This is one of the more interesting and fun videos that I have done. I want to start delving into more theories for the Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring. And if this is something you're interested in talking to me about, or you just want to give me some new video ideas, please feel free to join my Discord server. It is growing, and we are looking for new members. So please, if you want, join it, and I'm free to chat whenever. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Peace.